Shasha's Gist Factory, your entertainment gist galore.
Because clearly we can tell that Efia Odo is not just an actress, she is a video vixen, she is a socialite and even now an entrepreneur because she's got her own restaurant that she's running. Yeah. And also the restaurant I'm not making sense. And on assembly one, the restaurant is where the problem day. Because clearly now, well, Efia Odo is trending on the basis that earlier we projected that she owns a restaurant that is the 8th Avenue situated in East Legon. And if you haven't seen anything so far, well, we spotted her on social media in a video and some pictures that hovered on social media some time ago where she was even jamming to a tune at the restaurant that is the 8th Avenue. And earlier she projected it to us Ghanaians that she owns the restaurant, like she solely owns the restaurant. So everyone thought the restaurant belonged to Efia Odo. Little did we know that not Madam Enyeso owner. She just had a share in it. So she's a shared owner of the 8th Avenue. And it has become so polemical on social media. Well, now people are saying that Efia is saying that she's receding from 8th Avenue. She has nothing to do with 8th Avenue because now, so someone stated that your mobile number is out here. All right, so she came and she was like, it's the company's number. And Efia earlier stated that I'm no longer affiliated with 8th Avenue. Eat at your own risk. Thank you. Now the question is, if this merchandise or franchise belongs to you, you have the sole ownership entitlement to that, restaurant. Why will you then come out and say, I'm no longer affiliated if the business is yours? Are you getting the sentiments of Ghanaians? So if you are the business owner, why will you say you are no longer affiliated? How will you be affiliated if it's not your business or if it's your business? It's your sole responsibility and your sole business. So it has nothing with you affiliated whatsoever. Now she stated, I'm no longer affiliated with 8th Avenue. Eat at your own risk. Now, if the business is yours, why will you tell someone to go and eat at his or her own risk? Like, are you getting the sentiment? Now she added thank you. Well, people came at her for that statement and she decided to come with evidence. According to Efia Odo again, she was like, my 40% ownership of 8th Avenue restaurant is very factual and backed by law. I don't necessarily need to be at the helm of affairs as a proud legal owner. If in doubt, kindly refer the registration number on the Ghana Register of Companies Records. Thank you. So that is the detailed document she's providing out there that, well, she's not the sole owner, but actually she owns a share to the whole conversation. So she's an investor for that matter. Now, the sole owner of the whole thing has to do with the proprietor of Rich Condos. The All Black Party now calls Kumasi, the guy, they own the 8th restaurant. So if you guys think Efia Odo is the sole owner of 8th Avenue, it's a lie. So that is the sole, the boss himself at the left side of the whole situation, and that is Efia Odo over here. So according to Kobe Sapong, who happens to be the owner, he posted on his Snapchat page and was like, silence is golden. And if someone should say this to you, what do you think is happening? I mean, there's a lot to unravel. There's a lot to demystify, but he decides to keep it on the low. So clearly, Efia Odo is not the sole owner. That is the point. Now, let's take it back to the buzz between Efia Odo and Sista Afia. You can clearly tell that while they were having that banter, that rift thing going on, where, Sista Afia stated that Efia Odo said she's owning a restaurant, and the speculations or scopings that we've done, well, the restaurant doesn't belong to her. That was what Sista Afia told Ghanaians back in those days. But we were thinking, because Sista Afia is paying, she's saying all of these things just to get back at Efia Odo and all of that. But hey, little did we know that there's truth to what Sista Afia said. So if you can get Sista Afia's words back in those days and get talking to her on that. So according to Sista Afia some time ago, so this came later, and there was one that she actually brought earlier. So according to Sista Afia, well, you'll be manager for someone in restaurant. You they claim it be your own, It's okay, honey. Brand yourself. In Ghana we day. Ghana, everything has to do with branding. So if it's not yourself, go and borrow and come and make it waste or weight. Yeah, I get it. So now, just about last night, after Sista Afia heard that Efia Odo has been sacked from 8th Avenue, that's what we hear, she's been sacked. How can the boss be sacked? Very controversial, contradictory. Well, according to Queen Solomon, it don't cast till last, hey, Efia Odo don't chop breakfast. Bang, bang, hey. So it's more like Sista Afia is getting back at Efia Odo. But I don't like this. I thought they've squashed their beef. I thought they've squashed their ribs. I thought they've squashed, their sentiment and scaffold and all of that. But it's like Sista Afia is mocking at Efia Odo. This is not a beautiful thing. But anyways, well, sometimes you don't have to lie. You don't have to tell a lie. If it's not yours, don't say it's yours. She's actually having 40% of the business. That makes her, somehow owner too, but not solely part of it. But then again, the question is, why is she being sacked as we hear it? Was she actually sacked or she decided to leave? Well, it might be too that she decided to opt out because maybe the way their business is running, she's not liking it. Maybe the food being served, it's not up to standard or something. You know, Efia can be very, very sentimental. So maybe she's proposing something to the management and they're not condoning to it. That is why they let her out. It's likely that way too. But speculations that we're hearing, Efia Odo has been sacked because, well, the boss himself stated that the monthly income of the business is not really up to standard. Salary now, like the kind of payment, and that's a business, no employee. People are not purchasing, people are not buying, so the money no they come like that. And the target is not targeting. That is why they are sacking Efia Odo. Ah, you will sack my crash. Hey, Efia Odo, pack your bag, come and visit me. We will match them back to we will enter court. I don't go agree for this one because you can't do that to my crash. But guys, this is what is trending with Efia Odo too on the social hemisphere. And let's add your sentiment to let's get to know what you think about this. If it is making sense or it's not